Hello, everyone. Stephen Chow has always been famous for his uniquely absurd and hilarious gags. But when it comes to nonsense inventions, like this butt pushing machine, even I'm speechless. It even has a 5 speed gearbox to adjust the pace. Truly a meat grinder of the future. This film is full of such ridiculousness that you'll laugh until your jaw drops. In this movie, Stephen Chow plays one of the 4 top Imperial secret agents. His colleagues are all martial arts experts, performing for the Emperor's entertainment. The first has the invincible lover-fondling Palm, impervious to spears, and drinks wine while laughing at swords. His head is rock hard, and his fists could open beer cans better than a police baton. Truly impressive. The second has faster legs than his brain, kicking hundreds of times per minute. Hitting concrete feels like touching tofu to him. The third has hands faster than a vibrator, and his pickpocketing skills are unmatched. No matter how many people surround him, not a single coin slips past him. And now it's Stephen Chow's turn to perform. On the surface, he seems useless. In truth, he really is useless. His martial art is comedy-based, relying on wit instead of brute force. He presents 2 infinity stones. Same sides repel, opposite sides attract. A brilliant discovery. Though, he doesn't know what to use it for. Then there's a fan that generates wind when hand cranked. Perfect for a hot day. The captain is embarrassed by Chow's lack of combat skills. But Chow confidently claims he can defeat the unbreakable diamond technique. Just mix sulfur and magnesium and toss it at the enemy's face. Then place a steel ball at the mouth of a pipe and ignite it to launch the ball explosively. The unbreakable diamond technique? What a joke. Bring it on. I'm ready, Chow declares. He lights the fuse, warning that the weapon's side effect is a high risk of facial explosion for the user. After an earth-shaking boom, Chow's mouth is gone. Only the steel ball remains. Following that painful fiasco, Chow is summoned by the Emperor, severely scolded, slapped, and kicked out of the Forbidden City. As it turns out, he was originally a veterinarian. Disgraced, Chow returns home and switches from veterinary to dispensing herbal medicine. Anyone complaining of illness gets handed pills. No questions asked. Another patient comes in. I don't know what illness I have, but I get wet when talking to men. How am I supposed to treat that? Easy. Take this medicine and pay up. Wait, something seems off. Next up is a woman with an even more difficult condition. My husband takes me halfway up the hill, then stops. Can you help me reach the top? Just then, Chow's wife appears. If she needs help, just help her already. I swear, if you weren't here, I'd help her. Chow mutters. Clever and inventive, Chow creates all kinds of bizarre devices, like a wooden hand for slicing onions without cutting your fingers. But the worst invention? A machine to assist in that kind of problem. Powered by hamster wheels to produce rotational force, it moves the bottom partner's hips up and down. It even has a 5-speed gearbox. Ooh la la, says his wife, thoroughly intrigued. Shameful! So shameless! But don't touch the last gear. Too late, she already did. Suddenly, someone arrives with a story from last month when Chow and a master were punished to wash dishes after a failed martial arts performance. A eunuch was telling the emperor about the Heavenly Flying Manual, a legendary book sought by the entire martial world. If the emperor obtains it, he could dominate the realm. Chow realizes the eunuch is plotting against the emperor, but how could he stop it? The emperor already agreed to embark on a secret mission next month to find it. Knowing the emperor was stubborn, Chow stayed silent. Meanwhile, rebels were plotting to assassinate the emperor and seize control of the Central Plains. Leading them was a general so strange he didn't even have a hole on his face. Though living in seclusion with his wife and child, Chow couldn't ignore the danger. He decided to act, and together with his wife, went to save the emperor. That day, as the emperor set out in disguise, he passed through a foggy, remote path, the perfect ambush site. Suddenly, leaves began to fall, each infused with immense internal energy, slitting the throats of countless guards. 2 assassins appeared, and the 3 Imperial guards rushed forward to defend. One guard was quickly killed, his skull crushed. The second had his organs torn out. While Chow and his wife were enjoying roast chicken nearby, only today, Stephen Chow is determined to use every trick in the book to protect the emperor. First up, magnetic boots. He collects all swords and knives in just 1 second. The enemies try to attack with throwing knives, but two martial arts masters show up and wipe them out. Finally, a demonic martial artist appears and swiftly kills one of them. He transforms into two clones and quickly takes down the remaining warriors. Witnesses are so terrified they wet their pants. But Chow shows no fear. He boldly walks forward, stick in hand. The enemy switches between forms rapidly, dizzying everyone. But every time he stops, Chow hits him without fail. "How do you always manage to hit me, even when I transform?" the villain asks. "Look at your foot. Only one touches the ground." The villain charges again, but Chow throws a magnet at him. It sticks to the enemy's weapon and attaches him to a steel ladder. Chow seizes the moment and pummels him relentlessly. Suddenly, the villain kicks Chow away. Chow grabs another magnet. Unexpectedly, it causes the two clones to stick to each other. Well, this is basically feeding yourself to the enemy. Then, Chow flips the magnet, causing a repelling force that sends the villain flying. Frustrated, the villain removes one magnet and throws it into a fiery cauldron. Quick-witted Chow tosses the other magnet at him. As a result, the magnets attract, pulling the villain straight into the fire. At last, the wicked martial arts sorcerer burns to death thanks to Chow's cunning trickery. The emperor and his men rush outside, only to find the townspeople all slaughtered. Suddenly, razor-sharp leaves fall from the sky, slicing Chow's robe. The butcher returns, now joined by his elder brother. This time, he channels power into leaves and launches them as deadly projectiles. Chow rushes to a silversmith. He loads a steel ball into a newly invented cannon. He then attaches two flagpoles from his hat, forming helicopter blades. Spinning them rapidly generates a powerful wind, blowing the deadly leaves back toward the assassins. Chow spins faster until he lifts into the air like a chopper. With a bomb in his mouth, he lights the fuse and rains firepower down like cannonballs. The weapon even switches to rapid fire mode like a machine gun. Anyone playing Free Fire would swear he's using hacks. It took me months to come up with something like this. Because he saved the Emperor, Chow earns trust once more and is rewarded with a precious gem. But no, he doesn't want just any gem. He wants the one from the Emperor's hat. He gives it to his wife, not expecting it to drive her mad with joy. Just seeing it makes her climax multiple times. The next morning, the Emperor asks Chow to accompany him on a secret journey to find beautiful women. 300 concubines had been recruited from beauty pageants, but they were all ugly women who bribed their way in, an absolute disaster. The Emperor could only cry in silence. What a pitiful situation. Chow comes up with a plan: disguise himself as a woman and apply for a job at a brothel to find real beauties. Sure enough, the girls there were 1,000 times more stunning than the palace concubines. Suddenly, a girl disguised as a man starts following Chow. Tempted, he's ready to give in, but remembers his wife and flees. Still, he can't forget those enchanting eyes and returns the next day. Her beauty stuns every man present. Small birds wait behind big birds, the madam says. But thanks to his clever talk, Chow quickly wins her attention. She agrees to share a room with him. Chow presents the royal gem to impress her. She just says it's nice. Any regular person would have fainted from excitement. She keeps teasing Chow, rubbing wax on her hand and moaning seductively. Chow can hardly resist anymore. Just as he's about to take the bait, she suddenly turns serious. Turns out, it was all a test of virtue. Chow is the only man to have passed. It's no easy feat. What a waste of the gem with no reward. Back home, his wife asks where he's been, sniffing the scent of another woman. She asks what happened to the gem. Chow starts bluffing, and his wife seems to believe him. But then the courtesan shows up at their house. The scent confirms everything. She even presents the royal gem as evidence. The truth couldn't be denied now. His in-laws charge at him in rage. The courtesan kicks his wife, causing her to cough blood. At this moment, the courtesan turned on him and shouted, "He said he wanted to recruit me for the Emperor, but he dared to take advantage of me first. How audacious!" Knowing the Emperor liked her, he still had the nerve to test her beforehand. Stephen Chow was speechless at the false accusation. The Emperor, furious, ordered the guards to arrest someone for the crime of treason, punishable by the extermination of 3 generations. But the target was the courtesan. Turns out, it was all part of a grand play orchestrated by Chow. He had staged everything to reveal the true nature of beautiful women. how they could seduce men into abandoning their wives, lure Chow into betrayal, and even endanger the emperor. If such a woman were to become empress, the whole nation would become a brothel, Chow warned. What a brilliant scheme. His wife also turned out to be an outstanding actress. Then came the eunuch with nose hairs half a meter long, eagerly volunteering to inspect the courtesan's chest. Suddenly, the courtesan revealed her true form. She was none other than the monstrous prime minister in disguise. His martial arts were indeed formidable. The emperor's guards charged at him, but no matter how many came, he repelled them all with a single blast of internal power. Just then, Chow's best friend appeared. He used the soul-shifting technique to fly around the faceless villain, quickly chaining him up with a steel chain, which was connected to a high-hanging lantern. This was Chow's latest invention, designed to summon lightning from the sky. But before the lightning could strike, the villain broke free from the chain. Chow rushed to grab the end of the chain and attempted to reattach it, but before he could, the lightning struck, electrocuting him and sending him flying to the ground. The faceless villain seized the moment to deliver a killing blow to Chow's wife. Just as things looked hopeless, Chow miraculously awakened. Must be the child of a thunder god. After being struck by lightning, he wielded his sword like a divine being.